Hello, this is Angela Anderson. Thanks for joining me for this acrylic painting tutorial. In this video, we're going to be doing another Songbird in our Songbird series. This time we'll be doing a Bullfinch. It's in the upper right corner there. And we'll be using acrylic paints, like I said, showing you step by step how to do it all the way from start to finish, drawing and completion. We're going to be using a little 5-inch canvases, and we're doing a giveaway with those this week. So be sure to check that out later in the show. I'll be talking about more information about that. Let's get started. All right, so hi everybody that's watching this live. Got my husband Mark with me.
Hey there, everybody.
He's man in chat for us, so if you've got questions, you can ask those while I'm painting, and I'll try to answer them. These are the 6 canvases that I've prepared. 3 of them are done already. We're going to be working on this one today, and then we'll be working on these 2 in the following 2 Tuesdays. And I think we're going to keep on going with this series of these little mini canvases. So we may do a different series, like maybe butterflies or I don't know. We've got a lot of suggestions, so you can leave those down in the comments if you've got something that you want to see us do in a series of these little mini canvases. But this guy's going to be the one we're working on today. We're going to continue this branch on up here, and we might, I don't know, maybe bring some of these leaves on over from this canvas onto this one. So I'm going to set these aside. I'm using my Gallerywrap from Fredrix. These are the 5-inch canvases, and they are doing a giveaway with us this week. So there's information down in the description of the video on how you can enter the giveaways on Instagram and Facebook.
And they're a sponsor.
And they are our sponsor, and they've been very generous sending us canvases for us to use in our videos, and I really love these little 5-inch ones. They're great, and they've got a nice thick border, so you can kind of set them up this way if you want to. You can't really see how they look, but they stand up really well, so you don't even have to actually frame them or anything. They can just be set on their own. All right, so this is my reference photo. We're gonna make his branch going up this way, and I looked at several of the reference photos of the bullfinches, and their legs, when they are perching, they actually kind of tuck their legs up underneath, so we're just gonna actually have his feet sort of just barely touching the branch there. But let me go ahead and draw that. Why don't you zoom in there, hon, for me? And I'll go over our colors really quick too. We've got titanium white, Quinacridone Magenta, Cadmium Red Light, Cadmium Yellow Medium, Phthalo Green Yellow Shade. This is light phthalo green, just this color plus white that's pre-mixed. Teal, Phthalo Blue Light, Phthalo Blue Green Shade. This is also just this color plus white. These 3 colors are pre-mixed, so you don't actually have to buy them if you want to just mix them up to have them ready. This is Ultramarine Blue, Burnt Umber, Burnt Sienna, and Carbon Black. And I'm going to be using a water-soluble Aquarella General Scriball pencil. It's water-based, so you can, once we paint over it, it'll just dissolve right into the canvas. Really don't want to use regular pencil for this, so any kind of chalk or something like that that'll dissolve is best. All right, let's get started here. So I wanted to fit him in here, and of course we're continuing this branch. So that's where we want to start. We're just going to kind of bring this branch up, try to make sure that it matches right there. And then I curved it kind of through his body here and out this way. So we're going to kind of continue it off that way. Oops. It's already off camera.
Zoom in, she said.
I know.
Go off camera, she
forgot
said.
That we're...
So, like Rolaids, they're water soluble. Will those work for tracing? No?
No, honey.
Okay. I'm just trying to think of things people might have around the house.
That would work, yeah.
Yeah.
They are kind of chalky, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know. But probably would work, actually, now that you said that. I don't know.
Okay, back to the show.
Okay, thank you. So I wanted to kind of figure out his body size. So we want to fit him in right here. This area from here to here is about the same distance from the end of the tail where it touches the wing to the end. So we can kind of judge, make sure that you've got enough room right here going off the canvas. And it's fine if it kind of goes off the canvas. It's not a big deal. But just try to kind of keep that in mind where you want to put the main body of the bird, and his tail is a little bit maybe shorter than the body, just because he's got such a big kind of a round shape. So he's kind of chubby. All right, so let's do our big kind of oval right here for the main body. It's sort of a teardrop shape there, right? And it's going to go right up to the branch, so just right over the top of it. And then his beak is coming out right here, and it's a little bit of a curve down right there, and then a straight line here, and then a V shape right there, and then this kind of curves down as well, kind of does a little curve. Then the top of the head comes up just a little bit. He doesn't have a large forehead, and then slopes back and down around, and then continue and meets up with this part of the body that we had already kind of drawn in. Then the wing comes back this way. It doesn't touch the tail in the photograph that I'm using. It's kind of a little bit overlapped, so we're going to do a little bit of an overlap. Sometimes they do sit with their tail tucked in, but not in this photo. Their tail and their wings tucked together, but all right, so then from the bottom of the beak, you're going to just continue a line right down here and then curve it up like that. And that is where the eye is going to set, just right above the split in the beak, right above that mark. Right there. And then this gray feathers of the wing are going to come down this way and curve around right here. And then split that body kind of not quite in two. It's really cutting off almost 2/3 down. So if you kind of did 3 finger spaces, the wing is going to be 2 spaces, and this area right here is going to be 1 space. And then angle this back to where you drew this part here. And then the back of the tail is going to come down kind of, if you kind of continued that line there, you're going to bring the tail all the way down. And then it's going to angle this way and back in. There. And then it meets up with the body. There's a little bit of white that kind of comes in like that. That kind of continues from the back of the body into the tail. All right, and then like I said, the feet are just kind of tucked in right under the body there around that branch. And then we're going to draw in some of the white flower petals that were in like this. We're going to continue that branch up here. So we'll put in a split right here, do some petals right here, and maybe a little bud here and a leaf. Just want to draw these in before we start painting so we can kind of paint around them. Remember how we were doing that before, leaving a little bit of that background color showing through. So let's go ahead and do another one right here. Flowers have 5 petals, little apple blossoms or something, I'm not sure. I actually found a picture of them with one in their mouth, so I think they must eat them. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I didn't realize that birds did that, but we had those orioles.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they were eating the buds off of the honeysuckle.
Yep. Oh, yeah, I didn't realize they did that either. They must be sweet, you know. Well, I know honeysuckle is anyways, so makes sense. We'll do a couple little small buds here and kind of end the branch right there. All right, I think that'll be good. So not too hard. Pretty straightforward. Drawing him. Let's go ahead and I'm going to grab my Filbert. This is the number 4 Filbert from Princeton. I've got a few brushes that I'll probably be using. This is number 2 round. And then I've got a couple of angle brushes, the 3/8 inch and a 1/4 inch angle. VelvetTouch, these are the 6100 series. And then this is a select round number 1 for some of the details in the eye and the beak and things.
Another sponsor.
Yep.
So we got Princeton sponsoring the brushes.
Yes.
And Fredrix with the canvases. That's pretty cool.
It is. It is. We're actually talking to Amsterdam. I did a little comparison with the Amsterdam paints. These ones are golden that I'm using tonight, but Amsterdam sent me some paints to try out, so I tried those in my Facebook group on Monday. That was pretty fun. So we kind of did a comparison of all the different Liquitex Basics and Amsterdam and the new Deco Art paints that are out and Deco Art Premium Acrylics or something like that. So anyhow, that was fun. All right, I think I'm going to do a little bit of green on this one. We did yellow here. And I'm going to go ahead and kind of set these up so we can kind of see the colors we've got going on. So I think I'm going to do, obviously I need to do a little bit of yellow right here and a little bit of brown or blue here. I think I'm going to do a little bit of green up in this corner. To start with. This is the Phthalo green light. Well, really, I don't know why I mixed it because I had it right here. I forget. I got pre-mixed. Yeah. Okay. Old habit.
Now we got extra.
That's all right. We will use it. So just being real careful, just kind of lightly tapping. I don't have a lot of I'm kind of loading my brush thickly, but I'm not using a lot of pressure on the canvas so that I'm getting kind of spaces and different. There we go. Different textures with the paint. Let's go ahead and pull in some of this Phthalo blue. Mixing that in, pulling just from the corner. I just got a tiny little bit of paint here, not a lot. You don't need a lot of this Phthalo blue. Is a very high tinting strength, so it will take over whatever color you put it with if you don't be careful. It's kind of a bully color.
I was just thinking that.
It's a bully. It's like, you're not the boss of me.
That's right. It'll probably mess up your clean water, too.
Yeah, probably. Probably. All right, so let's put a little bit of it down here. Coming down underneath his body. Just little dabs of paint. This is really fun. You can use any colors you'd like. You could... What I like to do is use colors that I'm already going to be using in my birds for my backgrounds, and then I know that they're going to be, you know what? I forgot a color. I forgot my yellow oxide. Then you know that they're going to be compatible with the rest of your painting. I didn't have it out on my palette. All right, so grabbing some yellow oxide. That was the color that we used over here. Mixing that with whatever we still had on our brush. We still had a little bit of that blue-green on there. I'm just going to start adding some of that in. Around on this side, try to kind of match it up to this. Get it close. It doesn't have to be perfect. And what we can also do is take a little bit of this color and put it on this canvas if we need to. So just because you've finished this, we haven't varnished it or anything, so we can still add to it. We can even, if we wanted to, we could add some of the white blossoms onto this canvas, but I don't think we need to. They're far enough away. Grab a little bit of the yellow, cadmium yellow, a little bit more white. There we go. Okay, so now I'm going to start working on the edges here. And make sure I get some of this color along the edges. This is very therapeutic. This part, I'm serious. If you've had a bad day, grab your paints and do some of this. Just this kind of repetitive dabbing motion, and something about painting. I don't know. It's very soothing.
Probably more soothing than playing World of Tanks.
Probably you get very upset when you're playing that game. I still don't know why you do it because you're always yelling at your teammates.
I'm not yelling.
Okay.
Idiots. Well, but that's not yelling. That's
true, kind of mumbling,
that's
grumbling under your breath.
Yes. I thought they would be nicer to me on Father's Day, and they weren't.
They weren't nice at all.
No.
They weren't letting you win.
No.
Grabbing the green that was right here. No. You were so upset.
I was.
It's like, I don't know why you do that to yourself. You keep going back for more torture that game.
Thinking that it'd be better, but I'll go back to Subnautica. Or I'm all by myself.
By yourself. You don't have to deal with any teammates.
So if I die, it's me. I can call myself an idiot.
Probably for the best, hun.
But you do, make noises too while you're playing your...
I do, and I lean into my games when I'm playing, especially when I'm playing Angry Birds. I lean. When they're going, I lean in. It helps. It helps them go where they're supposed to go.
So welcome to the Art and Video Game channel. Your hostess, Angela.
They didn't know they were getting game talk.
Game education, yeah. Maybe we can do a split screen. I can be...
Those gaming channels are popular, I'm telling you. Spencer was watching one. What was there? I can't remember what the name of the channel was. It was on Twitch. And the guy had a donor that had given him $30,000.
I know.
I was like, we are doing the wrong thing here.
Exactly.
I need to learn video games, obviously, because
Mm-hmm.
I could not believe that. Unreal. Yeah. Okay, so back to painting. I totally don't want to do that. I was totally joking, so please don't leave a mean comment. I was totally joking. We are very blessed, and I love doing this. So I told my dad, actually, I called him for Father's Day, and I was like, Dad, I almost sometimes feel a little bit guilty to be making any money doing this because I love it so much. I would be doing it anyway. So it's just nice that other people are appreciating it and watching our channel. We feel very, very blessed.
Yes.
Very blessed.
Yes, we do appreciate all the supporters on Patreon and super chats.
So much fun.
People who send chocolate in the mail.
I know.
And French, I forget, what were those little French cake things that we got?
Madeleines.
Madeleines, yeah, those two.
Yeah. All right, so I'm just trying to kind of match up the canvas next to it, obviously. It doesn't have to be perfect, but we're trying to get it fairly close. I'm going to add a little bit more of this yellow oxide because it seems like it's a little bit more of that brownish yellow. There. All right, and so then I'm going to just transition, kind of like I did here, transition between the yellow and the blue. And so I'm just going to grab some of that blue, a little bit of water, mix those together a little bit. So we've got kind of a middle of the road color.
Okay, now I've been telling people in chat that this is a bullfinch.
I think so.
B-U-L-L.
I think that's what I saw.
Okay.
Is that right?
I'll get out my this new fancy internet machine here. And I'll go to Google.
Google it. Okay. I think I did a little bit too much around that one, but that's all right.
Yep, that looks like the usual suspect. A Eurasian bullfinch.
I don't know, I just like the colors on him. I've never painted one of these guys before. We don't get them around here, obviously. I thought it'd be fun. But I've got so many good suggestions for birds, and people have been sending me pictures. So thank you to those who've been sending me pictures. And I'm sorry if I can't paint them all. I'm trying to work through. We'll hopefully eventually get to them all. We'll see. Okay, so just trying to kind of match that up there, those lines there. I'm gonna touch that up. Looks like it got some blue on it from somewhere. Okay, and then grab a little bit more of that phthalo blue and do it on this side. Leave a little space for that branch to go. Let's grab the light phthalo blue, just the premixed color. And since I've got all these colors on my brush now, you can kind of see how they kind of stack up after a while. Every time I add a new color, it kind of pushes the previous color back. So when I am painting here, if I press down a little bit harder, I'll get some of that other color that's farther back here on there. So every now and then I'm just going to kind of press down a little bit harder and get some of that old color to come off onto where I'm painting. You can see how that yellow is green is starting to come out once that blue is gone out of my brush. Get some of that darker blue there. I'm going to paint over his tail. I want to get a little bit more of the green going on this side of him.
So a couple of people have asked, and so you have these paintings that you've already done.
Uh-huh.
You have them in your channel, and you put them in your acrylic bird playlist.
Yes.
So they'll be easy to find. They can just go to your playlist and click there. And,
Right, they're all there together.
Right, with
Yep.
other birds.
And yeah, with all kinds of other bird paintings that I've done over the last couple of years on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
So there's not just this one. I want to use some of this pink, I think. I didn't put any of this pink up here, so I'm going to grab some of that Quinacridone Magenta and spray my paints down again. Put some of that in this bottom corner here. Just a touch of it.
So,
And I'm just going to dab a couple little spots. Go ahead, what?
I know that you're doing this in all 5x5,
Mm-hmm.
and I think that's awesome.
Yes.
But I was wondering if somebody had like 3 of one size and 3 of the other, I think it would be an interesting almost mosaic
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
effect. Like, do 2 small on the one on the outer sides and 1 small in the upper middle or something.
Mm-hmm.
And, so it's kind of staggered and
Right.
like that.
Yeah, definitely. You can totally get creative with it. I've done that with bird paintings before. With when I did a family paint night, and the mom and dad were on a large canvas, and then all the kids had their own small canvases, and they all kind of branched off. So you could do a pair on one larger canvas in the middle, and then have, each of the other birds kind of coming off at different angles. And they all kind of were, they weren't just like square when they ended up. Some of them, they were kind of an odd shape outline. I don't know if I'm explaining that right, but
No, yeah, you are.
anyhow, it was kind of fun.
In the brush, you've used the same brush from the beginning.
Cleaning out. Yep. Yeah, this is the
Number 4.
the
Filbert.
Mm-hmm. I'm just gonna dab over this and blend that in a little bit right there. There we go. So now we have a little bit of that blush of pink coming up around the side there. And grab some teal here and add a little bit more of that brighter teal around him. Some places. How quiet all of a sudden, once that light, the
Air conditioner.
air conditioner went off, it's like, wow, it's really quiet.
Yeah. Like a recording studio in here.
It's making a lot more noise than I realized. Okay, so there we go. Now we have kind of a little blush of all the colors surrounding on our canvas here. And if we wanted to, you could go darker up here. You know, you could do a darker blue, whatever you wanted to do. But I think I like that. I think that'll look pretty against that peach color of the bird, that kind of green, teal green. I'm going to set these all aside so they don't get any more paint on them. Pull him down to the middle, and then we can zoom in a little bit. I promise I will try to stay on camera. I promise I'll be good. Get some of that on this side as well. So a little bit more about the Fredrix canvas giveaway. It's pretty cool what they're doing. They, I have a post on Instagram and on Facebook, in my Facebook page. The links, like I said, are down in the description of this video, or you can just go to my Instagram account, which is Thankful Art, or my Facebook page, Angela Anderson Fine Art Facebook page. And okay, I'm going to use the 1/4 inch angle here to start adding in some of our branches and things. I'm going to mix up some gray. I'm going to go ahead and mix up quite a bit here. So this is the Ultramarine Blue and Burnt Umber. Pretty much equal parts. Maybe a little bit more on the blue side. A little bit more blue. Just so it's got a little bit of a blue-gray tint. I'm mixing up quite a bit because we're going to use it for a lot of this bird here and some on the branch too. All right, I'm cleaning that out because I don't want you want to avoid getting your paint up in this part of your flat brushes because it can get trapped up under the silver part here, and it can be hard to clean it out. So when I mixed that there, it was kind of creeping up underneath there, so that's why I cleaned it out real good before I continued. So I've got some white, and I'm gonna go on a little bit more blue here. There we go. Kind of a light gray, and I'm gonna go ahead and grab that darker color and use it on the branch here. But like I was saying on Instagram and Facebook, if you comment and you tag 2 of your friends, they can win with you. So they're giving away 6 canvases per person. So the winner gets 6 canvases, and then their 2 friends will also get 6 canvases. And then same thing on Facebook. So by the end of the contest, we should have 6 total winners. So it'll be one winner picked from Facebook and one winner picked from Instagram, and then their 2 friends that they've tagged will also win. So you can kind of get your art friends together, and if they tag you back, you both have a lot better chances of winning. You get extra.
So if I were to go in there and tag like Bugs Bunny and Mr. Ed,
no,
then we would all get.
Plus, they have to be U.S. addresses. That's the other. Yeah, I know. I'm sorry, but contiguous U.S. and you can't. You know, you have to be over 18. That's kind of normal basics sweepstakes.
Well, I'm over 18, so.
Right. So you're still eligible.
No, I'm not eligible.
Oh no, you're not. You're not. I don't know what I was thinking.
Not sure what I would do with him.
Yeah, we don't need canvases. Trust me, we got plenty. We got plenty. Okay, so there we go. Did those. Left a little bit of that red showing around the outside and kind of tapered it as it went up this way because it's going to get a little bit smaller as the branch ends, as it's doing right up here. So let's start putting in some color on our bird here. I'm going to scoop up some white. And I'm going to try to make this orange that's on his body. So And get a little bit of the Cadmium Red Light. I think that's pretty close to the color we're going to want. I might add just a tiny touch of the Quinacridone Magenta to make it a little bit more of a salmon-y color. Salmon-y. I don't know if that's a word.
I think that's a new paint color, salmon-y. Dirty white, cad blue,
Salmon-y. I like it.
Gotta write it down.
Add it to our list. I like salmon-y colors, so I think it'll be a good addition.
Colden is going to be busy.
One day, I don't know, maybe it may turn out to be Amsterdam we're working with. I don't know.
Ooh, yeah. We got a bidding war going on now.
All right, so I made a darker version here because I need it a little bit darker right up here, right by his wing. And I'm just tapping in the direction that his feathers are going to be growing. So generally, they're just going to be coming down off the face towards the tail. So that's kind of the direction I'm going to do my brush strokes. I wouldn't be doing it in this direction because then it would just kind of look unnatural. So I'm still tapping. I'm not really putting in like, we're trying to keep it sort of impressionist. So I'm not doing the long, smooth brush strokes like I might do if I was trying to blend these colors. I'm just kind of letting them blend by sort of tapping one color over next to the next color. That makes sense. I don't know if that made sense, but
I guess to somebody does.
I worry about that a lot because I say that a lot. Just that makes sense.
More so than 3 finger widths minus whatever. Just saying.
When I was doing the measurement on the body, is that what you're talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, it's scientific. All right, I'm gonna wipe that brush clean, grab some white, and go up underneath the tail area. Right here is white. I'm just gonna pull that up. I'm just gonna clean my brush out so I get cleaner. Really like that peach color. It's really pretty. Might make that turquoise even a little bit darker around it. What was I doing? Oh, white. And then there's going to be a little bit of gray. It's not pure white, so I'm going to go ahead and put in a little bit of kind of gray in there with it as well. There we go. All right, so let's use this dark color here that we've mixed. I'm going to grab a little bit more of the ultramarine to make it a little bit more blue. There we go. And there's about halfway is where the black starts. So I'm going to go ahead and do that there. Split that in half. Pull my brush strokes down this way. Get a little bit of burnt umber. Do a little bit of burnt umber down here. There we go. And wipe that off. Grab a little bit more of that black. Do some up here, and then there's some kind of peeking through the feathers right there. And there's some more up on his head. I'm going to go under the chin, under the beak a little bit. Dabbing so that I get on a regular line here. I don't want it to be too smooth. Just tapping. around the eye, and then this kind of tapers down into the neck. Right there. Like that. Clean that out, grab some of my white, mix that with my light blue-gray. Dab that on right here. These birds are a lot of fun. They come together pretty quickly. I think the best thing to do when you're painting them is just to kind of try to get into the process, just sort of try not to have too much preconceived notion of how it exactly you want it to look. It'll look a little bit more natural, I think, if you just kind of, especially with this kind of impressionist type painting, you're going to get brush strokes that are a little bit looser, a little bit more free form. They may not be exactly where you want them to go, but you can always, the acrylics, if you get, something a little bit too far off, you can always go back in and adjust it later. So that's a nice thing about acrylics. Go back in with some darker. Right here, this is that kind of little bit lighter than the wing color there. I'm going to grab some of that light phthalo blue, mix that with this gray, and use that for my highlight on the wings up here. There. There's a little bit of it down underneath here. Okay, I'm going to let that set for a minute. Go ahead and switch to a smaller brush. I'm going to get my round, number 1 round. We'll do the beak. I'm going to use black for this. And also do the eye. So let's go ahead and do the eye. And it's going to kind of disappear into the feathers at first, so that's pretty normal. There we go. Then let's grab some of that light gray color and put a little streak right here above the beak. And a little bit separating the beak right there. That'll help it be seen. And then let's do a little bit of gray around the eye, all the way around it. A little bit more white, a tiny touch of gray, so I want it a little bit brighter than the gray that I just put on there. I'm going to go right along that top area and add a highlight there, and I had a little bit right there. It's going to look funky at first. We're going to adjust it. There we go.
So if you're watching this now or maybe in the future,
Mm-hmm.
you can check your video settings. Set them at 1080. You can really see the detail coming out.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So, just a pro tip. I don't make any extra money for that. Just that one's free. The 1080 people don't sponsor us, so.
A little bit of dab of white there in the eye to make it stand out.
Completely
I'll put a
ignore
little
me.
bit more. I'm really not trying. I don't understand what you're saying, so
That's
why.
okay. Neither do I.
Okay. I don't know what point you're trying to make, so I was just kind of letting you do your thing there. Sorry, hon.
That's okay. I can't hit a home run every time.
Okay. All right, there we go. So just little touches. I outlined the beak just a little bit with a little bit of light gray, just so it kind of showed up against that darker black. And I'm going to tip down, get a little bit of black on the tip here, and kind of angle that beak down just a little bit right there. How it does. Round it out a little bit. Where it kind of comes down around it. Makes a point. And then if you need to, you can use your black to kind of touch up around the gray, around the eye. A little bit. I think that looks pretty good though. All right, let's let that set. And I think I'm going to just stick with this smaller brush. I don't think I'm going to need that larger one today. Oh, I didn't need to have my thing on my arm. I had that on the whole time.
I don't know if it was seen anyway.
Okay,
so.
good. Alrighty, and then we did a pretty bright green for this here. So I'm going to go ahead and mix up some really bright green with my cadmium yellow medium and phthalo green. Make a really bright apple green. I'm going to add some white to it. There we go. Start outlining these leaves here. Leaving a little bit of that red showing if I can, if I left enough space for it. I'm going to put a little bit of this on the stem too. Just a little bit. Okay. Clean that out. And then because that's really not showing up very well, I'm going to go ahead and grab a little bit of the darker phthalo green and some of the Quinacridone Magenta and do a little bit of that around some of those leaves with a little bit more of the green. Go. Just to make them show up. That may have been too dark. We'll see. Grab some more of that, the teal, and I want to go a little bit closer to the body here. Get a little bit more of that teal in there. Grab some yellow. Adding the fresh paint will just allow them to blend a little bit better. So just adding a little bit of that yellow back in so that I can get a little more smooth blend right there. Okay. Very nice. And I'm going to use a little bit of the Cadmium Red Light and the Quinacridone Magenta. Come on. Don't want to come off there. There we go. I'm going to go right up underneath this wing here with some dark color and just tap a little bit of it down. A little bit darker color right there. And I'm going to make a turquoise here and grab a little bit of my teal. I might mix the phthalo blue and phthalo green together in equal parts. And then I'm just mixing in a little bit of this turquoise because I think I want a little bit darker color around him. I feel like he was a little bit kind of disappearing into that background there, so I'm gonna add some of that and then grab some of that light phthalo green. Dab back over. And I really need to press my brush down a little bit harder because this, when I was using my Filbert, it's a little bit bigger brush than this one, so I want it to kind of match the look of the rest of the canvas. I may have to press down a little bit harder on this to get a little bit bigger brush strokes. There we go. Hopefully you watched this through once before doing this, so you don't have to actually do this. If you've already done your background, you can leave yours as is if you want to. I just thought it needed a little bit darker color there. It was bugging me. Yeah. What?
Like, oh
no.
Great.
And she changed it again. Just got it perfect. And she changed it. Alright, grabbing some of that yellow, dabbing that back over. Okay, I think that's good.
So you got some phthalo blue out there?
Mm-hmm.
So what if somebody doesn't have any?
Have phthalo blue?
Yeah.
What do they have? I mean, it's a blue-green, so just a, blue-green color.
Okay.
work doesn't have to be this, you know, same color, but something in the same color family. Something that'll make teal. Okay, I'm going to get a little bit of it over here. So it's there we go. All right, so let's set that there. So what I need to do, I'm going to go ahead and grab that Filbert again because it's just not quite matching the look of the rest of the background. Trying to get my colors to match up. Now what I'm going to do is grab some of this teal and put just a little bit of it right in here on that one. That way they'll kind of mesh a little bit better, I think. Maybe we'll add a little bit of the brighter yellow.
Now you're just painting outside the lines.
Well,
I don't know if that's allowed.
Well, I told people that we would probably be coming back and adding more to some of these other canvases, so. This is kind of a fluid, you know, set up, so I'm going to go ahead and zoom out a little bit. I just want to see how they all look together. There. Yeah, okay. So yeah, we added the more turquoisey around that guy. I think I like that. And bring the yellow around the top a little bit more. There. Okay, I think that's good enough. All right, so I'm going to grab that angle brush again. Grab that dark gray that we mixed. I'm going to touch up the head a little bit. Let's do a little bit more on the wings here. I'll grab the Ultramarine Blue. Do some kind of dabs with that on here. There's some blue highlights on this guy. Grab a little bit of white even, just so that it shows up a little bit better. Just a tiny bit of white with that ultramarine blue. Just add a little bit, little touches of it. You can zoom back in, hon. You can just barely see it, but there's a little bit of blue there. Let's put a little bit on the top of the head too. There we go. Grab some of that darker color. Go right up underneath. Right there. Put some stripes in that tail. Grab some of that carbon black. Do some really dark. Here he is. Wherever you use that carbon black, it's going to really kind of emphasize the difference, because you've got just a little bit of the more of a gray with a lot of it. So we can use that carbon black kind of sparingly to emphasize our shadows. All right, so let's go ahead and use some of this blue, ultramarine blue, with our gray on this wing here, the front part of the wing. Just tapping a little bit back here on the head, a little bit of a shadow on the light part. A little bit more on the tail right here coming up. I'm going to go ahead and put a dark shadow around that wing a little bit. Blend it in just a little bit. And I'm going to grab some white. Mix that with that gray. Colors are starting to dry. If you find your colors dry out too quickly on your palette, you may not be putting out enough paint at once. The smaller amount of paint that you put, I know these are expensive paints, you don't want to put out too much, but if you don't put out enough, they're going to dry almost immediately. So you kind of have to have a sort of a balance between, just enough paint to use. But I always put out a little bit more than I think I need, because it'll help the colors from drying out too quickly.
Okay, so people seem to have moved on about their fear of you forgetting feet.
Okay.
And have moved into, are the wings long enough?
Are the wings long enough?
Mm-hmm.
We might make them a little bit longer.
Because we don't want them to have a complex.
Okay.
Because all the other birds won't let them join in the bird games.
So his wings from here to here are about the same from the beak to the bottom of the body. So from the beak to the bottom of the body, from the wing to here, it looks about right. From there to there.
It just looks in the reference photo.
There to there.
To his tail feathers. Just seems a little short.
There to there. There to there. What are you talking about? The tail needs to be a little bit longer.
Well, if you look at the reference photo, the wing in reference to the tail feather, it just looks like it comes down a little bit.
A little bit farther? Okay.
But it doesn't matter to me. Just so you know.
Okay. Thank you. All right.
Oh, and don't forget about the feet.
No, I won't. I'm grabbing the dark color right now for our feet. They're going to be, there's one kind of coming around here, and then there's another sort of coming around here, and they're just kind of tucked up underneath the body right there. So let's go ahead and grab some yellow. smaller brush. Get some burnt umber and some black. I'll make that tail feather or the wings a little bit longer for everybody. Is that better?
I'll be able to sleep better.
Okay. All right, I'm going to use the...
I don't want the Audubon Society calling me.
True. We've been lucky, actually, with this one. We haven't had any complaints about it, so I guess we're doing okay.
Yeah, I know. When you did the dog video, we had that special Springer Spaniel
we
group
did.
promote it. Where's all the Bullfinch followers out there? Come on.
Falling down on a job.
The Springer Spaniel people are making you look bad.
Mm-hmm. Trying to get a little highlight on these views. It's kind of not cooperating very much. There we go. All right, now let's do some flowers. We'll be done.
All right, so we can talk about, so down in the description is a list of all the supplies that you're using.
Yes.
And link to the brush guides.
Mm-hmm.
If you need brushes, 5% off with the code AngelaFineArt.
Right.
Link to Patreon. You can support the channel through there if you would like. We know not everybody can, so we do really appreciate everybody. And $1 a month, you get access to all the traceables.
Right.
Back to February 2017, as many as you want. Download. It's not $1 each, it's $1 for all of them.
Right. Yeah, and if you go up a level, like if you wanted to do the $5 level, it includes the traceables. You don't have to do $5 plus $1 to get the next level. You just do
$5.
$5, yeah. So I noticed that there were some $6 pledges, and I thought, I wonder if they think that they have to do that to get the traceables and the $5 level. So just to clear that up. Okay, so this is really just kind of dabbing on, leaving a little bit of the yellow or the background pink showing through. I'm trying not to get too specific with this. These petals are sort of, some of them are facing us and some of them are kind of tilting down away from us, so we're not seeing the whole front face of the flower. So I'm trying to... There we go. Oh, it's so pretty. Can't stand it. I love this part of the painting. We get to the end and it starts look like something. So fun. Okay, getting a little bit of pink here. I'm going to do a little bit of pink in the centers. Just pull out some pink from the centers. Maybe a little shadow underneath some of these. Ooh, got some super chat.
The cowbell's a little rusty. I didn't practice before the show started. Didn't stretch.
No.
This is from Brenda. She says, just because I love you guys and appreciate all you do.
Oh, thank you, Brenda.
Yes, thank you so much.
Sweet. Add some yellow. You can turn the lights off now. Thanks.
Yeah, I unplugged my headset there, actually.
Oh.
I was so excited about the donation. Okay, I'm back. I can hear everything again.
All right, I've got burnt sienna mixed with some cadmium yellow, and then I've kind of just grabbed a little bit of extra cadmium yellow on the tips. I've got both colors here. I'm going to try to kind of just do this in one go. We'll see. Yeah, may have to come back and do a little bit more yellow. Just touching a little bit of that color on there for the centers of our blossoms. And grab some yellow. Try to get some clean yellow.
I shouldn't have turned it off.
Nice. Wow.
This one is from Ariana. And she says, thank you for the wonderful tutorials. Your sense of humor with each other is great. I've learned so much from you, including patience with painting.
Oh, good. That's a big part
great.
of the process. It's patience.
And hopefully a few jokes, too.
Yeah. Going to do a little bit of green in the center is here, too.
Thank you, Ariana. We
yes,
really
thank you so
it.
much. This is our normal... This is our normal... What did we saying the other day? We were cracking each other up. I don't know. I don't remember. We were on a roll, and I remember thinking this would have been funny to do on the show, because I'm just glad we have a record of our stupid conversations now.
Torturing the world.
Yes, exactly. You guys can enjoy it.
One video at a time.
Quote, enjoy. Yeah. All right, doing little dabs of that green in there. Getting some of the, I went ahead and kind of put a little bit of leafy something around his feet, just kind of obscure it a little bit. Felt like it was just kind of not quite where I wanted it to be, so I think I'm happy with that. What do you think? We got the feet, check. Let me go ahead and grab a little bit more white. Do just one more layer of white. Some of these blossoms here. Maybe we'll do a little bit one right here. Okay. I think that's good. Let's see how he looks with this guy. Let's go ahead and zoom out. See them all together. That's the test, right?
Zoom.
There we go.
Not too
Love
bad.
it. Love how these are coming together. We pulled together a little bit of that color from there.
Yeah, they look like they go together.
A little bit of that. They're starting to come together. This is it's nice when it starts to actually kind of work. You know, have it in my head what I kind of wanted to do, but this has been a kind of a painting's never a it's a process, not a science. So just because you have an idea does not mean it's always going to work out quite the way you hope it will. So it's nice that this is working. I think it's working. So
another one.
Very, very good.
Right. They might still think we know what we're doing.
Exactly.
They're not onto us yet.
No. All right. I'm going to sign it on the bottom here, just like I have the other ones, with my Pigma pen. And I've got this link down in the description in case you want to get one for yourself. They're really convenient for signing. They're waterproof and light fast, so make a really good. There we go. Oh, I love them all four together. So fun. Can't wait to do another two more for you guys next.
Yeah.
Two more weeks of these, and then like I said, we'll be doing something else. So if you've got any suggestions for what you want to see us do on more of our mini canvases, continuing this through on Tuesdays. I think it's good.
Yeah.
Make sure that we actually kind of get done in about an hour and 15 minutes, you know.
If that's what it takes to keep you on schedule.
Exactly. That's what it takes to get Mark fed before bedtime.
We're a little bit over an hour, so we might need to go to 4x4, 3x3.
I think it's because I went and messed with the background again. I
okay.
think if I hadn't done that, it wouldn't have gone over. But anyhow. All right, guys. Thanks so much for watching today. If you do this, you can share it with me on my social media. Links down in the description. And be sure to check out the contest if you want to win some Gallerywrap Canvases. I've got the links down in the description for those as well. All right. See you next time, guys. Let's see. We got Saturday. We got a beehive coming up. Looking forward to that one. That's going to be really fun. We added a beehive to our floral with bees. So we'll be doing kind of an old-fashioned beehive. And then we're going to, on Sunday, have our bonus video for patrons. So if you are the $5 level or up, be looking for that link. I'll be sending it out Friday to you in an email. So, and we'll be doing that special show on Sunday. It'll be a hydrangea blossom. Let me show it. Oh, I do have pictures. Look at that. I have visuals. Okay, so there's our hydrangea. So that'll be Saturday, 10 a.m., early show. And then this will be Sunday, 3 p.m. for patrons.
It's 10 a.m. Central Time.
Central Time, yes. 10 a.m. early show. We normally do it at 2, so we'll be doing it a few hours early on Saturday. So be sure to mark your calendars for that. All right. That's it. Thanks, guys. Bye.